What's up everybody, it's been a while, but I'm so excited to be back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about how you can use GeoFilters for your next church event. This past weekend, I was able to travel down to Mercedes, Texas for the grand opening of Revamped Church. I was so excited to be there. It was such a cool event. But about a week and a half before, I got an email from somebody from their staff on their media team if I would be able to make a GeoFilter for the event. I was very excited to help, but I had never done that before. So I went into research mode. I figured it out. I designed the GeoFilter, got it approved, and went through the submission process through Snapchat. I wanted to do this video to kind of show you the process of how to get your GeoFilter on Snapchat to use for your next event. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. This is snapshot.com. Very, very simple site. You have on the top GeoFilter, snap codes, ads, download, Lens Studio. Below, it's kind of the same thing. It's very simple. So you click on GeoFilters. This is the full site. On the corner here, there is create your GeoFilter. When you click that, it brings you down to this other menu where you have three different types. So you have community, personal, and business, okay? But because this is a community event, I went ahead and went with a community, so you can click submit now. So you have GeoFilter or you have a moment filter, but because we want them to be able to see this filter through the location that we're in, we're gonna go ahead and go with GeoFilter. I went ahead and designed previously the GeoFilter, and I went through the church and got it approved. So once you have your final design, you can come in here and click upload. One of the things I noticed though, when I got to this menu was that my file was too small because the supported dimensions were 1080 by 2340. I had to go back into my PSD and put in the proper dimensions. In the end, it's going to look a little bit stretched. As you can see here, it's a little bit higher than you would think a phone screen is, but they do this to make sure that no matter what phone you have, you're able to see the entire image. Like the iPhone X now goes all the way to the top and the bottom of the screen. You want to make sure that you have the entire GeoFilter covering. One of the things that I learned doing this, one of the first times that I tried to edit this and I uploaded it, I went ahead and I moved the text on the top and the bottom up and down to the very, very bottom. But when I went back and I uploaded it, it was getting cut off on the top and the bottom, if that makes sense, as you can see here. So when you're designing, you want to be sure that that extra length on the top and the bottom is left more as a bleed space and not so much for your design. It's more, I wouldn't put much of your text or your main content on there. I would put more of the background or, like I said, more of a bleed area on there. So I went ahead and I went back in and I put the text where it originally was, and then I went ahead and I just stretched the background to fill up the rest of the canvas. One thing I wanted to mention, it's very important that your final upload file is a PNG, which means it's not going to have a background, because if you upload a JPEG, I don't believe Snapchat will be able to support that file simply because it has a background on top of it. So when you go to do the GeoFilter, you're going to have a top and a bottom, or you're going to see your GeoFilter, but you're going to see it with a white background through the entire screen. Once you've uploaded correctly, you're going to come to this page where you're going to have to enter the address, because we're doing GeoFilter based on location of the event. So I went ahead and went back to my email, copy and pasted the address that I knew the event was going to be at. I had to go ahead and zoom in because I could see from a distance where the location was, but you're going to have to draw a fence around the area that you want the GeoFilter to work in. So this square right here is a church building, and I'm going to go ahead and draw a fence around the area that I want the GeoFilter to work in. You have to be sure, of course, to connect all the dots or all of the lines. Once you've done it correctly, you're going to see it turn green. There we go. And that's the area that your GeoFilter will show up in. I hit continue, and the last step asks you for your email, your name, and your description. The description is important because Snapchat is going to take that information from the description and they're going to put it on the bottom of your GeoFilter. When you swipe and the GeoFilter opens, it's going to say sponsored by. Now the church is called Revamp, not Revamp Church. So it's a little bit off brand because when I open up the filter, it said sponsored by Revamp Church. And it was because when I submitted the description, I put local church revamp launch date. So they took Revamp Church, and they put it into that sponsored by. So be very careful what you put in the description, because they're going to take that information and from that put it into the GeoFilter. I also wanted to mention, I recommend that you do log into your own personal Snapchat, because you're able to track the progress of the submission. I still have not heard back about this particular filter, and the event passed this past weekend. So what I had to do is I followed the same process, but I went through the business GeoFilter. The approval process came with, I think, literally within an hour that I had uploaded it. But I did have to pay about $5 for the same area that you saw. It depends by square feet what the price is going to be. So obviously the more square feet that you have, the higher the price is going to be. And the smaller the square feet, the lower the price will be. So if you're pressed on time and you're really needing to get your GeoFilter approved as soon as possible, I think the best route to be would be going through the business GeoFilter, paying a couple dollars and getting it approved within a few hours. You get to decide when the GeoFilter starts and ends. But if you have time and you're doing this maybe a couple weeks before, I would go through the community filter route. I do know that it takes about 1 to 2 weeks to get approved for the community GeoFilter, depending on how many submissions they have. I really encourage you to use fun and interactive things like the GeoFilter Snapchat to really let your community know that your church is out there. But also, it's very fun for your church members as well to be able to have those memories with the GeoFilter and the design of the event on top of that. That's all for me this week. As always, if you have any questions at all, you can follow me on Instagram at Juan M. Ramos Jr. I'm going to put the link to my link tree below, that way you can follow all of my content as well. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.